Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, Texas Rangers fans. It's me, Chris with a Positive C, here with another edition of Texas Rangers Daily. And as the message board says over here, it is a fun Friday. We're gonna have a fun show today. I have my cat shirt on, so we're gonna be all about fun and good vibes and good spirits. Until maybe I have to get into some things that aren't fun vibes and fun spirits. But it's because we just got swept by the Astros. It's an off day today on Thursday, and when you're watching this, it'll be Friday. So there wasn't any negative news today for the Texas Rangers, but it's still not exactly like all sunshine and rainbows because that sweep really put us in a bad position. It put us in a position where we pretty much need to sweep the next two series no matter what. And we're gonna start off, not standing on ceremony anymore, Mr. Wayne. We're gonna start off today talking about the Miami Marlins, who we are playing this weekend. Yes, we have a series right over here. The Miami Marlins are coming to town, coming to Arlington, Texas, and it is going to be a must-sweep series, for the Texas Rangers. If you agree that it's a must-sweep series, I need you to comment below. And, before we really get into this, if you like the vibes, like the style, subscribe. Texas Rangers Daily will be Monday through Friday. So this will be the last show of this week, and we'll start again Monday. But that'll be after the series with the Marlins. Actually, no. So I think they'll be playing the Marlins the day that the Monday show comes out. So we can't do a full series recap on Monday. We'll probably do that Tuesday. But this preview is happening right now. They're 72-80, the Miami Marlins. And 10-10 in the last 20, which means that I don't really have a big bead on how well they're playing right now. Except in all the 10 wins they have, they've scored over 5 runs or more. So the offense is kind of, getting into gear, I guess, but they're giving up runs. It's a team that is full of young guys that are not going to be playing for anything more than a job next year. And actually, that's a huge selling point for them to be playing their butts off. The Rangers, of course, are trying to be playing for something, but I picture maybe some tightness coming from the Rangers. And the Marlins, they're going to be playing pretty loose. They really got, no postseason ambitions. They just want to show that they are ready to go into the offseason and improve. They are a team that, being 72-80, I think the Miami Marlins, and I think of them as basement dwellers, but they're in third place in the East, like the Rangers are, except the Rangers are only a few games out. The Marlins are like 18 games out, so it's completely different races. We're going to face, again, we chalk up the we thing. Sorry, the Rangers are going to face Jason Junk, Adam Mazur, and Yuri Perez this series. Yuri having an okay year. Actually, none of those pitchers are having a really good year. They're all struggling to a point, but I think Perez is probably going to give us the most trouble. He didn't give up any runs his last start, so he's got the ball rolling a little bit. Mazur is 0-4 with a 4.85 ERA, not having a good season. So the Rangers should be able to at least score some runs if the lineup's clicking. Kyle Stowers is their only All-Star. He's hitting 288, 912 OPS. 25 home runs, the guy can slug. And so, this is the type of team that gives the Rangers fits. They're a young team. It's the type of series that the Rangers have been known to lose whenever they need wins. So hopefully they can come out of the weekend and into Tuesday and we'll be coming back on Tuesday with talking about how the Rangers swept Miami Marlins. All right. The rest of the show is going to be fun too, guys. We're going to have a little bit more, game-like atmosphere in this next one because it is best and the worst. That is the best and the worst. Who was the best and worst of the week? Every Friday morning, I am going to do best of the worst and try to best and the worst, not best of the worst. I'm not Red Letter Media. But anyway, it's the best and the worst. These are your 3 top performers and your 3 bottom feeders of the Rangers lineup. And the usual suspects that you would expect because of what the Little Rascals have done are actually prevalent in the best of the week contenders. Michael Hellman hit 333, a 733 OPS, and this is one of my favorite metric stats, one of the favorite analytics I have, because I think it actually is a better indicator of how a guy is hitting than even like what a hard hit percentage and stuff like that. It's the batting average of balls in play. It's the average of when you're actually, you can hit a ball hard, but if it's going right to people and you're getting out every time, it doesn't really matter. So I don't like really hard hit percentage. I'd rather see a high batting average with balls in play, which indicates you're finding holes, things like that. He's batting .417 with balls hit in play. So Michael Hellman doing the things that we were expecting him to do from the first little bit of his coming into his own, but except he didn't really slug very much this week. But I don't really consider Michael Hellman a slugger. Cody Freeman had a great week. Hit .333, 400 on base percentage. So his OPS was 10. He's got a 1 in front of the dot. When you're 10-11 as your OPS, you are smacking the ball. He had 11 total bases. So yes, he was slugging and 4 RBI. So every time Cody Freeman was up at the plate, it was something special. And then Rowdy Tellez, the Girthquake cometh. He hit .417, only 2 starts, but that means that every time he had a chance to pinch hit, he was coming through. And again, my favorite stat right here, my favorite analytic, he was batting .500 with balls in play. Love that this team found a guy like Rowdy who has made a case to be on the team next year and fill a role the entire year. So I'm excited to see what Rowdy Tellez can do. The worst of the week, and these are guys. This is the issue with the worst of the week this week. These guys really, really needed to have a good week for the Rangers to be in a position to be in the playoffs. I mean, the names you're going to hear, it's very obvious that this team needed these guys. Wyatt Langford hit 182 this week, 6 strikeouts, 227 OPS. That is abysmal, absolutely abysmal. Just he was doing nothing. Wyatt Langford was doing nothing at the plate. He was walking a little bit, but he was also striking out basically just as much. So he was a nothing burger at the plate. Speaking of burger, Jake Burger, he was a nothing burger all the way around. He had a 188 slash line. That means everything was 188. Batting average, on base percentage, and slugging percentage, all 188. Strikeouts. He looked lost a lot of times at the plate. I think he's got a couple of memeable moments that have come out of this past week of him just looking so frustrated and like he wasn't seeing the ball well, and there were no good swings. I don't remember Jake Burger putting a good swing on a baseball the entire week. And then Adolis, and we went over Adolis' struggles in the Houston series. He wasn't good in the last game of the Mets series. He went 1 for 13 since coming back from the disabled list, and he only had a 100 batting average with balls in play. And so again, an indicator of how a guy is actually hitting. He wasn't hitting the baseball, wasn't scurrying up the baseball, wasn't finding the holes needed, but he was great in the field. So he gave all he could in the field, could not bring it up in the plate. So that was the best, that was the worst. So we will move right along. Here we go. Sorry, I got a little distracted there. Doing the shows at home, you never know what could happen. But we love it here in the, I guess we'll call this the Positive Studios. And now with the Positive Studios, we're going to have a little bit of a positive spin. And this is where I'm going to give you, try to give you a little bit of hope. It's a fun Friday. We're going to try to have some fun and try to give you a positive outlook on what could be a fantastic offseason. But we have to get to the offseason first. And I think the best way to get to the offseason is by not making the playoffs. And there's a few reasons why. The rotation, after Evaldi got hurt, I don't think they were ready for the playoffs. I don't think Leiter was ready. He was so up and down. Merrill Kelly was already. It's the first start. It was weird things were going on. The Grom was probably going to be our only saving grace, and maybe Jacob Latz. So I don't think that a rotation was ready for a deep playoff run. The lineup also could definitely turn back into a pumpkin at any point in time. I mean, seriously, we're really counting on the Little Rascals to take what they're doing at the end of August and September and into October. I don't think that was going to happen. As soon as the playoffs get going, you face a lot more good pitching, and guys like Freeman and Hellman, their holes in their game, which I guarantee they have, will be exposed because you're facing the best of the best. And then the injured guys were going to be coming back, and we're just expecting Seager. I mean, you can almost expect Seager to immediately hit the ground running, but we saw Adolis couldn't do it. We don't know what Haggerty's got, and definitely Marcus Semien is a huge question mark. So we're expecting them to come back and then lead us into a deep playoff run. All of that was just going to be combining to having a lot of fool's gold. It reminds me of, and Dallas Cowboy fans can get with this. It reminds me of a Cowboy season where they start out maybe like start out like 2-3, right? And then they have like a cream puff 4-game stretch, and they win those 4 games. All of a sudden, they're 6-3, and everyone's kind of talking about playoffs and Super Bowl. But if you really have been paying attention, they're not good, and they're just going to fall on their face. That's exactly what I thought about the Rangers. Even if they would have gotten into the playoffs, it wouldn't have been good, and it would have been fool's. They need a new catcher. They need a solid middle of the order bat. They need probably a first baseman. Rowdy, love you, but you're probably not going to be an everyday first baseman. We could use one of those. We could use a couple of things in that bullpen. Use a real closer. So I'm really glad the Rangers didn't sneak into the playoffs, have everything seem like it's hunky dory, and now we can focus on the improvements that the team needs to make. And we're going to talk a lot about that here on Texas Rangers Daily once the offseason comes, because the Rangers need improvement. Someone else needed improvement too. The last on the docket today on this fun Friday here in Texas Rangers baseball, or Texas Rangers Daily. I hope you have enjoyed the show today. If you have, like, subscribe, and share. Last topic of the day is going to be the hopefully the corner being turned for Kumar Rocker. Kumar Rocker, according to Evan Grant of Dallas Morning News, has returned to AAA from being in the development league for a while. And that's what he needed. He needed that. He needs development. He didn't play a lot of baseball. Like, considering how high he was drafted, how high of a prospect he's been, he hasn't played a whole bunch of baseball, especially in the lower levels. And you need that because he's got all the stuff. He's got the stuff. He's got the pitches, but does he have the makeup and the mentality to put those pitches together and to be more of a baseball player, to be more than just a pitcher? Because I think, like, a lot of people get it lost in their own heads that, there's more to pitching than being a good pitcher. There's more to pitching than just throwing. I mean, there's lots of baseball plays and winning plays that a pitcher needs to know how to be, where to be, why to be, that Kumar doesn't do every time. And so I think being in the development, learning the fundamentals of being a Major League Baseball player, and then coming back up through the organization, I think is really going to help him. And then next year, we have a chance for him to have a full offseason focused and dedicated on it too. And so he comes into spring training not having to learn baseball plus work on his stuff. He can just work on his stuff, work on his location, work on his control, work on his command, do all the things that you need to do in a spring training instead of in the back of his head trying to, remember how to play baseball. So thankfully, Kumar Rocker is back in AAA. He'll be around next year. Spring training will be fun. This has been a lot of fun. It's been a fun Friday and a quick show because, I like to get my weekend going too. I want to take my cat, my cat shirt and go out on the town. So yeah, we'll be back next week on Monday with more Texas Rangers Daily. We'll have a weekend wrap. We won't do a full wrap of the Marlins series, but we will do a weekend wrap and we'll have lots more fun. So please like, subscribe. Thank you to Fan Arts. I'm Chris with a positive C. Monowia, stay gold, pony boy. Oh, and Daniel, Catherine, congratulations on the baby.